Yo, this is Alex Mal for Destiny, and I want to welcome you back to another full body workout. So it's been a while, I haven't shown you some training footage, but you know what, I'm back at it, this time around focusing on the weighted calisthenics, and of course trying to get that 700-pound deadlift. So that's what this workout's going to revolve around, and it's pretty much what I'm doing to get my numbers up. So I'm starting off with a weighted dip. I plan on doing a 1 rep max this session, and of course my previous best was 185 pounds. This time around, I'm going to try to beat that even more. So I'm warming up, as you can see. With weighted dips, you really got to take the warm-up seriously. I even did some band dislocations and band pull aparts before doing this. I think that if your rotator cuffs, AC joints, all that stuff is not prepared, you might snap your shit up. So it's very, very important that you properly warm up. That's why I'm taking my sweet-ass time on these. So this is 180. You can see it goes up fairly easily, no real trouble. And then finally, we end off with 205 pounds. So I weigh 184, and I'm doing a 205-pound weighted dip. And I had to show you that so you believe me, okay? So let's watch this rep together. And boom! Wow, that was actually a fast rep. It was way easier than I thought. So it looks like what I'm doing is working. These 500 rep push-ups working. So anyway, let's move on to these 125-pound dumbbell presses. I gotta say, it was the worst part of the workout. It was complete shit. I only got it for a triple, which is fucking pathetic. I have no idea why I was so weak at this. One thing that I do know is that the dumbbells are from the 70s. They're extremely old and they roll in your hand, so that might have played a factor, but I was expecting at least 6 to 8 reps, so I was very disappointed with that. But nonetheless, I do some back off sets. I grab the 115s, hit that for around 6-7 reps, and then I'm going to drop it down to the 100. So I really like back off sets for dumbbell pressing and T-bar rows and stuff like that. So that's typically when I do it. I'll do it when I'm feeling lazy or certain movements like this. Even weighted pull-ups is good. So this is the final set, 100 pounds. I also want you to notice the form, okay? I'm bringing the dumbbell close to my body and inwards, and my scapula is retracted and my elbows are tucked. I'm not flaring all the way to the side because this is going to internally rotate your shoulders and cause you a lot of problems in the future. You have to do the way that I'm describing, tucking the elbows in just like a regular bench press. And of course, you can recognize that of course, when you use this style, it'll be more difficult, so you can't use as much weight. But you know what? It's not an ego lift. Dumbbell pressing is an accessory movement. You're not trying to lift all-time PRs here, okay? So you really got to focus in on that technique. Tuck the elbows in, stop flaring out using so much weight, and that's it. So let's move on to the lower body portion of the workout, which is basically what I'm doing to get that 700-pound pull. I'm doing behind the back block pulls, 6 inches, confirmed measurement. You can measure it yourself. It's aerobic steps. The one at the bottom is 2 inches, the one at the top is 4. So it's a 6-inch block pull, okay? And of course, it's still below the knee. And I'm doing these basically in a sequence. I'm doing 6-inch, 4-inch, and 2-inch block pull. And of course, I'm also doing speed pulls on my volume days and dynamic effort rack pulls. So that's how I plan on getting my 700-pound deadlift. And this is about, like, it's like the similar height to the rack pull at pin 1. The only difference is that you're pulling off blocks, which is a lot more difficult than pulling out of a rack. So yeah, you're seeing the warm-up process right now. You'll also notice that I'm doing thoracic rounding of the upper back. I've learned that this is actually the #1 way to pull. Of course, my lower back is tight, but I am rounding the upper back. I think this is very important if you want to lift max amounts of weight. And anyway, let's do 675. So boom. Very, very happy with this weight. Ultimate PR. Never lifted this before on this block pull. And it's just one step closer. I suspect that if I can get 765 off the 6-inch blocks, I'll pretty much be able to do 700 off the floor. So we're going to see how it goes this year, man. But so far, it's looking really good. I'm getting excellent PRs every single week, and that's how it is. So besides that, let's move on to some weighted pull-ups. Again, you notice that it's all calisthenic shit, and I'm doing the wide grip. Now, for my build, the wide grip is actually the most difficult way of doing it. I don't know if this is true for most people, but my strongest is actually the neutral weighted pull-up and the underhand weighted chin-up. So I find that the wide grip version is actually the most difficult. And that's why what I'm doing with concurrent training is rotating the variations. So this is a top set. I hit it for a triple. And I was pretty happy with that because I never really did wide grip pull-ups with this much weight. So very happy with that. Let's do some back off sets now. So 70 pounds. Again, I'm doing it because I'm feeling lazy. And I genuinely believe that for dumbbell press and weighted pull-ups and even rows, back off sets work extremely well. So 70 pounds, you end up getting more repetitions than your peak set, obviously. And then finally, you end off with the 45-pounder, which is, it just flies up. Like once you have 90 pounds strapped to your waist and you got to drop it down to 45, it's a complete joke. So I do that, and I'm going to superset it with body weight. So I'm trying to get as much volume as possible within the weights that I'm using, all right? And I think that drop sets are another great way of facilitating that. So you see, like, there's no rack pulls above the knee. There's no power shrugs, any of that stuff. My training is rather boring, if you will. It's lots of block pulls, lots of weighted pull-ups, lots of weighted dips, stuff like that. And then at home, I'm doing the push-ups. So really nothing special here. And I say hello to someone. So that's it, man. Let me show you some GPP to make this a little bit more interesting. So I do the bear hug walk, which is what I've been doing a lot recently. And honestly, I find that it strengthens the shit out of your midsection and your forearms. Really, really effective for that. So I've been skipping my ab work, and I've been doing these bear walks instead. So I do 4 sets with 3 plates. And then for a peak set, I actually increase the weight. So we're still watching this. You can see it's a lot of distance that I'm walking here. I don't know how long it is, but I know it's over 100 meters in total. So it comes out to some good distance, man, and you feel your forearms working, you feel your core like crazy. Not anymore because my core adapted to it, but it's actually very effective. And then finally, here's 4 plates. My max was 5 plates actually. I did a 5-plate bear hug walk, and then I just go for a walk. And someone actually moved my bench. I was gonna lay it down on the bench, so I had to walk all the way even more into the corner. So that kind of fucked me over there. So I'll just fade it out for you right now. So that's it in terms of the forearms and abs. Let's move on to these wrestler bridges. I don't usually do my neck training during my intensity days. I usually do it on another day, but I said fuck it. Recently, I've been doing a lot of wrestler bridges on these intensity days. I've been doing it on the intensity day and the volume day just to get some more total volume for the neck, in terms of the week, you know, because I feel that I've been neglecting it. I've been neglecting my bridging. So I'm just going to treat it like 2 times a week bridging, 2 times a week neck work with a harness or straight wood. I think this is a really good way of taking my neck to the next level. So I'm trying to shoot for a 20-inch neck. I think that'll look absolutely badass, because honestly, I gotta up it, man. It's not as thick as I'd like it to be. My traps are definitely up there, but neck is a lagging point, if you ask me. So that's that. We end off with the reverse hyperextension. I can tell you guys something. I was getting lazy on these for the past month, and trust me, you feel it on your back. Your lower back starts aching a little bit, so it's very, very important that you do lower back and abs 2 to 4 times a week. And I feel that the reverse hyper is the #1 way of facilitating that. So reverse hyper is going to keep you safe, traction the lower back, spinal fluids, rotating the sacrum, all that good stuff. So this is my go-to movement. I do it year-round, man. It's that good. Like, if there's one movement that I could pick for the lower back and posterior chain in general, it will be the reverse hyper. Hands down, reverse hyper, best movement of all time for lower back. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this full body workout. I know it wasn't as tense as usual. I mean, I got the PR on the block pull and the weighted dip, but that's really about it. So more stuff coming soon, and I'll talk to you guys next time.